I didn't want to make this video.
I'm open to the conversation. I think it, you know, it really is something that I think is a little bit multifaceted and layered.
Just when you think things can't get any dumber, apparently Awkafina is trying to apologize for her past alleged racism. So let me provide a little background to this complete fiasco and laugh fest. So apparently early on in her career, Awkafina knowingly did a lot of comedy, essentially mocking black speech or the slang of African Americans. And of course, it worked for her. She steadily built her career, and she's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And recently, despite a lot of ridiculous gaslighting, she had a pretty big hit with Shang-Chi. Now, I like Shang-Chi. It is a good film. I would recommend it. I just didn't really care about the story. I really didn't care about the story at all. So I don't really connect with anything in Shang-Chi. And as for her in particular, I really didn't care about her. I don't think she's that good an actress. I don't think she's like this insanely great looking Asian woman either. But she's now, I think, become this symbol for a lot of MCU fans, as well as other people, that the MCU has kind of this diversity crisis, which, to be fair, especially if you're Asian, it does. I mean, we're still living in the shadow of the pretty ridiculous and atrocious whitewashing they did with the Ancient One. And I really like Doctor Strange, but I didn't really care for the movie. So I like Doctor Strange, the character, and the mythology, but they kind of utterly ruined him by making him so stupid or dumb or inconsistent. So I'm just going to sit back and watch this whole thing kind of burn at that level. And I do suspect now that she is part of the MCU, she sort of has to do something because, again, it's just going to be brought up over and over. Like, well, okay, they're promoting Shang-Chi as this breakthrough, I guess, in diversity. They're trying to make up for what they did with Doctor Strange, but it doesn't look good because, again, one of their main stars basically made fun of black people. So it's kind of like a trade-off. So I understand from a career angle what this is all about, but from a political angle, really, this is just absurd. There's really no evidence she has any deep knowledge or appreciation of African American history. Of course, it's Black History Month. There's no real evidence she's even sorry for what she did. There's no also evidence that she's suffering from this. A lot of her fans are totally with her, and she's not really apologizing. She's, I guess, explaining what happened and why it happened. So she's basically trying to have it both ways. And honestly, I don't have a dog in this fight, but I would say this. Yes, there is a general problem with racism with Asians, and in particular, Hollywood has a really awful history. But I do think that there is this thing on the left that their go-to cure is, well, we need to fill in a box. She fits the box. She's Asian, and she's a woman. Okay, let's support her. And that doesn't make sense at all. I mean, really, what's the point of doing that? I mean, if she is not a good vessel, why would you support her? Just because she meets a certain ethnic mark? Doesn't make any sense. For the propagandists, they just built her up as this, like, oh yeah, she's so sexy, she's so talented, she's so aware, she's gonna teach the children. And it's like, listen, this isn't Lucy Liu or even Jessica Henwick. It's not like she's insanely talented. It's like they just wanted to fill her into a slot. You know, they needed an Asian co-star, so it's like, okay, I guess she looks good on camera and she can tell a few jokes. And I mean, I've got to be honest, the MCU scripts, they're not very intellectual. She could read the lines, and they put her out here. Now it's a big hit, and now they want her to be like this big civil rights political leader intellectual, but really she doesn't have the brain power or talent for this. So they're just trying to pretend like she's bigger than what she is, but it's like, really, it was all pretty obvious. It's just cynical. The MCU didn't really care about Asian people, didn't care about diversity. It's had a lot of racism. It's basically traded in non-white labor, right? Do people forget? They replaced War Machine like nothing. They didn't care. So it is what it is. Just a big PR scam, and she's trying to like fool people. Like, but now, Kevin Feige, he really cares about the minority voices, and he just wants the community to advance. No, it's still the same old thing. They only care about money. I mean, presumably the reason they really didn't care about the Asian audience is to get the Chinese box office. So really, we all know what's happening. Yeah, maybe some people in the MCU are like actually trying to make up for their early bad history, but all right, I guess, maybe. That doesn't tell me she's talented. And Shang-Chi was a good film, but really, she didn't do much to add to it. So I'll just take it for what it is. She's trying to fool people and make it appear like she cares about what she did. I don't think she cared. I think as comedians, you should be given a lot of latitude about what you can and cannot say. But some of these comedians, when they get very successful, they want to sort of revise their history and revise their career and try to, come off as more like statesmen or something. It's like, no, you're just a good performer. You're very comedic. You're very funny. Some people are offended along the way. Well, it is what it is. You have to just take the lumps. But when you want to become a superstar, you want to get all the audiences. So you want to be as popular as possible. And I guess she's trying to get to the next big move. Like she's going to be the next Rock. She's going to be like this multi-ethnic superstar we all have to like bow down to and be like, oh my god, where were you all my life? Well, I'm not playing along. She's fine. She's an okay actress. She's an okay comedian. Was her stuff offensive? I guess at some level, but really, it's fine. It's fine. But I don't buy her. Whatever this is, this PR stunt is really stupid. I don't really bother with it. I don't really care, but it is fun to just laugh at them and sort of pretending that this is like a really big initiative that the MCU has. As far as I see, no. This is a very superficial attempt to get to a new audience for the sake of money. That's all it really is. But it's really quite silly. I don't think anybody should take her seriously as a super great feminist, intellectual, philosopher woman. She's just a woman who looks okay on camera, reads the lines. She's got a big hit movie. That's about it. There's nothing else. Nothing really more.